latest on the alleged attacks by China, cyber-security attacks by China. MPs thought to have been targeted, calling for the government to label the country a threat. Former Tory party leader Sir Ian Duncan-Smith, former Minister Tim Loughton and the SNP Stuart MacDonald say it's time for a new era in relations with Beijing. We're expecting the Deputy Prime Minister, Oliver Dowden, to speak on that shortly. And in fact, we're going to talk about it more now here on LBC News in a bit more detail with Sergei Shaikovich, who's a threat intelligence expert at cybersecurity company Checkpoint. Thank you very much for joining us, Sergei.
Hello, great to be here.
Great to have you. So what are your thoughts on what we're hearing then? The UK government saying there has been a number of cyber attacks over recent months and years. What are your thoughts on what the government are likely to say when they respond?
So I would say those attacks and publications from the last day are not surprising. We see more and more aggressive cyber attacks of China against the Western countries. Now we see it against the UK. Just last year we saw very aggressive attacks of China nation-state actors against US critical infrastructure. So China is now targeting more and more Western core entities. And now it's more the democratical potential process and key democratical entities in the UK. Most likely for espionage purposes, and maybe in the future also to use the exfiltrated data for influence and disinformation operations.
And what sort of techniques is China using?
So in this specific case, we don't know what exactly they use, but mostly those attacks are starting from impersonation and phishing emails that are sent to organizations or individuals, or using unupdated IT infrastructure. When organizations do not update their infrastructure, we see more and more China nation-state actors are using it to target even the more secured organizations.
And why do you think the UK are responding and sort of acting now? Because this happened, we're told, well, certainly the Electoral Commission attack happened back in 2021. Is the UK government hoping to sort of firm up their cyber security levels and reduce the number of attacks? I mean, what do you think they'll have done since 2021 to make the UK more secure?
Yeah. So I think now the decision to go public with the allegations against China at this point and to impose potential sanctions, it's more about the timing and combination of different events. I think that's the key thing. Because yes, the attack against UK Electoral Commission it happened almost 2.5 years ago, but now it's this combination of targeting of parliament members and more events. And I think UK government understood at this point, in the light of the events I mentioned happened already in the US and other countries, that that's the point that it's impossible to be quiet anymore on those events. That's the point to tell publicly to the attackers, that in this case most likely are Chinese aligned ones, that it has to stop here, that the red lines are kind of achieved.
Really good to talk to you, Sergei Shaikovich, threat intelligence expert at cybersecurity company Checkpoint. We're now returning to the UN. The ambassador to the UN Security Council